Welcome to 10 Key Concepts of Sociolinguistics by Fernando Fritz and Gonzalo Mejia. First of all, we need to know what is sociolinguistics. Sociolinguistics is the study of language in relation to social factors including social class, gender, dialect, and some others that are going to be covered during this video. Social class. All human beings know, or at least have an idea, about what social class is. Society is divided in four categories, better known as social classes. On the bottom of society, we have lower class, composed by homeless people and unemployed. Then we have working class, composed by people who are specialized in manual labor, for example, carpenters and plumbers. Then we have middle class, which are usually called sandwich. They are in the middle between working class and upper class. They are wealthier than the first, but much less than the second. Finally, at the top of society, we have the upper class, which are usually aristocrats. Here we find the Rockefeller family in USA and the seven families in Chile. In sociolinguistics, social class is an important concept of investigation because of all the variables and insights researchers can find about linguistics features. A speech community. A speech community is a group of people who share speech characteristics, interpretation of communication, similar ideas, and most importantly, they share the same language. The size of a speech community varies. They can be either big or small groups. In sociolinguistics, a speech community is important because of all the data collection covered by the members. For example, in a small group of college students, researchers can find information of a variety of topics such as education, politics, religion, and sexual diversity. Gender. Gender is defined as the sexual identity of a person in relation to society and culture. In sociolinguistics, gender is an important concept of investigation for two reasons. First, if we speak of men and female, they tend to change how they act and speak in same-sex groups. For example, female speakers cooperate with each other while talking, while men try to show their macho attitude to show how manly they are. Second, as you can read in the next extract, even though for a long time man and female has been recognized as the only gender, this term has many definitions and is highly fluid. That's why it's a really interesting concept for sociolinguistics to study. Age. Age is defined as the length of time a person has lived. In sociolinguistics, age is a study for all the linguistic variations depending on the age gap from one generation to another. For example, the three life stages recognized on this video will be puberty, young adulthood, and old adulthood. The vocabulary and standard language will be different from teenagers and young adults, with the first using a more non-standard language, while young adults used a more formal language. We need to keep in mind that the way people speak depends on age gap, ethnic background, social class, and environment. Social network. Social network is a website which allows people with common interests to share ideas, photographs, and comments. The most popular social networks nowadays are Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. In sociolinguistics, social network is considered a subject of study because of the patterns used by people and the language variation they use, which is related to the social class. As a reminder, it's important to know that social networks in general can be very dangerous, so we need to be cautious with what we post in them.
Standardization is the ongoing and historical process that develops a variety of language in its written and oral form to be practiced by everyone in a speech community or when it evolves into a fully established language. Thanks to this process, the conventional forms of language are created and maintained. Standardization may be natural or imposed, and it is the effort of one speech community to make a variety the standard for them. This process is very important, given its aim to facilitate communication and to be the system that children will learn at school. Style, in the field of sociolinguistics, is the speaker's repertoire of a language for each speech situation in everyday life. It involves a speaker's choice of language, vocabulary, and grammar for the different scenarios and contexts that an individual may encounter. It is not as predictable as other phenomena, given that it is highly dependent of the personal preferences of the speaker. Style, it is also very important because it helps the speaker to adapt to different language situations and contexts. The term accent refers to a person's individual way of producing a language, associated to a certain country, area, or social class. Accent is a phenomenon that it is restricted to pronunciation variations in each speaker individually, affecting the speaker's variety in a phonological level only. Everyone has an accent, and it can identify where does the speaker live, his or her socioeconomic status, their caste or social class, their ethnicity, their first language, among other characteristics. Accent is very important in its own way because it helps linguists to discover new language traits every day. Jargon is a complex type of language that was created to suit the communication needs of a single group of people or work group, helping them to communicate easily and accurately. It is often only needed inside the group, given that a common speaker will not fully understand what some terminology means. This language accord helps professionals widely, given that it provides a way for them to communicate with haste in what it could be a life or death situation. A dialect is the particular way of communicating that a speech community possesses that differs from the standard mother language. It distinguishes itself from other similar dialects in terms of pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary, but in some cases it is still mutually intelligible with its mother language. This particular feature is very important nowadays because it helps localities and speech communities around the world maintaining their own identity in an everyday, more globalized and colorless world. Sociolinguistics is the study of a language in a social environment, and the previously seen key concepts show us only a glimpse of how this science works. Sociolinguistics answer questions like what is a dialect, what defines a standard variety, or how unique is a language produced by its users. Questions like that are key for understanding how a language works inside a determined speech community.
Thanks for watching this video. For more information, click on the links posted on the description. Good luck.